The great Viktor Frankl had an equation for life. Despair is suffering without meaning. Now, what he meant by that was, to avoid despair, you have to recognize you are going to suffer. And the question in life is not, am I going to suffer? The question is, where and how much meaning am I going to find in my life? Seems like today we spend a lot of time either discussing our despair, which kind of empowers it. You know, the more you talk about it, the more you awfulize, the more your cup is half empty, the emptier it gets. Or we focus on suffering. I don't want to suffer. How can I stay looking young longer? How can I avoid pain? How can I make life easy? I think that's why people go internal, because I think people think less suffering means less responsibility, less people. We tend to get isolated and don't realize it actually increases our suffering and our despair, because what happens when you do that? When you focus on avoiding suffering, you actually get less meaning in your life. To find meaning, life's going to get a little complicated because it's going to involve other people. Not only that, where do we typically find meaning in life? It's with others. It's with connections. It's with family. It's with friends. It's with our faith. Those things are not always neat and clean and easy. People are complicated. And so we can fool ourselves in thinking, if I minimize those things and focus on myself, well, then I'll be happy. No, you won't. You won't be happy. Because the more you focus on yourself, the more ultimately you worry about your despair and you focus on your suffering. A look in the mirror. Is there a wrinkle there? You know, am I losing some hair? Am I getting old? Am I getting gray? When what you really should be focusing on is, where do I find meaning in my life? Who are the people I can impact? What are the connections I can have? What's something I can do today that matters? I see that in my own life. When I have the discipline to focus on meaning, get up in the morning, read my Bible, spend some quiet time with my wife, just be present with my children and not talk. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. It doesn't matter what my financial situation is or my professional situation is or what's going on in the world. Those are the things I focus on. I find meaning and I find joy. See, that's where you find your joy. That's where you find the happiness that nobody can take away with you. Ask yourself this: when is the last time that you allowed yourself just to be quiet and present with people that you care about? Just to watch your kids play. Just to watch them, just to be present, not on the phone, not reading, just watch and be present with them. You know, when's the last time you got to go on a date with the one you love and you just got away with everything and you didn't, fill your head with a restaurant or people or movies or screens, but you were just together, maybe walking in the woods or walking down a lane? If it's been too long, I would suggest, my friend, you may not be living as fully as you could be. Follow the example from the great Viktor Frankl. I'll talk about him more. I have. But focus on meaning. Focus on those little things. You could be in a prison. You could be old. You could be young. You could be in school. I mean, you could be a student right now watching this, and there's a kid everybody picks on. And what you've done, because you want to avoid suffering, you want to avoid despair, you avoid that kid. You don't go near them. You isolate yourself. You think, you know what, I'm going to be happier if I avoid the kid everybody else picks on. But you know where you just might find the most joy in your life? By being the one person who's nice to them, that says hi to them, asks them how their day is. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know what's put them that way. It could be that checkout person at the grocery store who seems upset and angry. And all you're thinking about is getting home and getting in front of my TV and running my errands or whatever you got to do. And so you're annoyed by that annoying checkout person. And you don't stop to think, well, what did somebody do to them 2 checkouts before me? What happened to them before they went to work today? What are they going home to? Maybe you in that moment in that checkout line, saying something nice to that person could be the most meaningful thing you do today. And life is filled with those moments. Quit focusing and wallowing in your despair. Quit doing everything you can to avoid suffering and make life easy, which is a futile effort. And maybe focus on those little things you can do every single day to find meaning. And especially in a world like this, where all we see in the news and on social media and on TV and talking to our friends is the bad things and the despair and the suffering. You be the person to say hi. You be the person to say thank you. You be the person to just be quiet and be with your children. And I know what you will find is happiness and joy and peace.